Thank you for coming to another episode of His Wife, Her Husband.
I am Shamika, his wife,
And I am Patrick, her husband. And our purpose is to help you build
and sustain your marriage.
from a biblical perspective. How you feeling?
You know,
It was happening when you get
it's
out of
like
practice a little bit.
it's like I don't know. I feel like I have gained weight,
Okay.
and I must go to the gym. It is time. It's time. No, I don't feel that. I don't feel that out of practice though. Yeah,
Out of place, anything? I do. I feel out of place.
you do.
Yeah.
You look like you you look like you at first day of school. You got your uniform on and you're ready for Miss Hannikin to. I don't know. That was the lady off of the teacher off of Matilda.
No.
You comfortable now?
I don't
A
know.
little bit. It's me.
No, I'm comfortable.
Hilarious. You moving my leg made you comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Whatever you need to be comfortable, Patrick.
Mhm.
So let's check in. Let's check in. Let's check
Okay.
in, Coach. Check them in. What you got going on? How your week
Uh,
been? Well, yeah. How your week
it's been
been?
good. It's been good. It's been exciting. Yep.
Mhm.
We got a project we're about to um, start
Mhm.
to
Started
redo,
it.
or we're starting. We started yesterday redoing the kitchen, so we'll be putting out some. I guess we'll put out some videos on the progress and how it started and how it's going to end. Uh, I don't know. It's an uphill battle at this point.
I tell you, it's the figuring out the top, the figuring out the selection, figuring out the tools. It's
Mm-hmm.
all of that, and then gaining the energy and the strength to
Mm-hmm.
do it, because it
Yeah.
could linger
It's
on.
all hands on deck for this one, though. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Before we get into the actual topic of the day, listen, if you are new to the channel, actually, please hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. And if you aren't new, and if you're new, hit the bell notification so that when we drop new videos, you'll be the first one to get them. And we like music artists. We drop at midnight at any time. You never know. So make sure you hit the bell notification. I think over 60% of people who are subscribed are not
That our
do not
viewing, I
are
know.
viewing, yeah, are not subscribed. So if you would just go ahead and subscribe and tell a friend and tell somebody else about his wife or husband. There are a lot. We get what, over 300, 200 videos out on
Oh no, it's
marriage.
almost. Oh, yeah, well, it's
Um,
over 400.
on marriage. So your topic may be there or not, and we'll see what we can do going forward. All right.
Yeah, and shoot
Yep.
us an email if you want something. You want us to address something that maybe we haven't.
Yeah. So the email is his wife her husband 97 at gmail.com. His wife her husband 97 at gmail.com. So if there is a question that you want answered, you can send it in. If you want to remain anonymous, we'll make sure we do so, and we'll do our best to give you a practical biblical answer that I think will be helpful to you and your marriage. Amen.
Yeah, that's good. You so funny. You go preacher mode.
I know. I said
Amen.
amen. So we're gonna do like 3 videos in the communication department. We're gonna talk about timing. Was it timing, tone, and text? Timing, tone, and text. Which one you want to do first?
Wear your glasses.
Right here.
Yeah. You don't
Yeah.
have to stroke and strain, huh?
I know. Which one you want to do first?
Let me see. Which one did you say first? Icky, picky, boo.
You can look at the paper and like your paper on the other side.
I want to look at yours.
Mm-mm.
No, I'm talking about just that look, the
Mm-mm.
look up there.
Mm-mm.
Timing.
All right. Come on. Read the scripture.
You gonna make me get the paper.
Mm-hmm.
You never did finish about your excitement, and then you did.
I was just saying I was excited about
rushing.
us doing the
Be-
about the the project we got. You know.
Then what you supposed to say?
I don't know.
How about you, baby?
Oh, well, we didn't get. How about you, baby?
We didn't get what?
Nothing. How about you, baby?
What you was about to say?
What? So how's it for you? How's it been going?
That ain't what you was finna say.
I'm not. I don't know what I was gonna say. Come on, answer the question.
Well, I am actually very first of all, I'm glad you asked. And I have been very optimistic about life and just all the things that's happening. You know, it's like it's a turnaround and it's like it's happening. So, like, to be honest, I feel as if the time is right. Like, it's time to address certain things.
Yeah.
And when I say that, it's not necessarily being confrontational with anyone, it's just being honest with me. And I like this place. Like, when it's just time, like, I feel as if that it's the moment. It's
Yeah.
my moment. It's our moment. So I'm grateful for that, and I am really enjoying it.
Okay.
And not at one point, sometime I would in times past, I would feel like it was my moment, and then I would be afraid that the moment was going to be taken away. But this time, when I feel like it's my moment or and our moment, because it's like it's one and the same, I don't feel like someone's going to come and snatch this time from me.
Why did you think that in the past? Like, what was going on?
Well, interesting enough, you would ask. I think that because I had been dealing with disappointments in the past, it's just like I was always expecting the bottom to drop
Mm-hmm.
because of a reoccurring disappointments in
Mm-hmm.
life.
Mm-hmm.
And now, where those will come from, it could come from different areas. It could
Where
come
was yours
from,
coming from? You said where those can come from, but you were
okay.
speaking about your disappointment and the
hmm
bottom dropping out. So where did it come from you?
So it would be relationships,
Okay.
and that would be family relationships.
Okay.
Not necessarily my immediate family, but
Mm-hmm.
extended family. It would be disappointment in not having enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say the stain or the stench of poverty
Mm-hmm.
would just make me just so apprehensive and anxious.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I don't feel that. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I can manage
Mm-hmm.
relationships and I can manage finances and more than anything that I can govern myself in the
Mm-hmm.
Lord. Like He has given me strength to do it. And at one point I would want to shift the responsibility to somebody else. But now it's like, oh wait, this is a sign of maturity. It's me being able to walk and to go and to enjoy a space and a place of grace, and it just feels so
Yeah.
doggone good.
I think we were talking yesterday when we were being interviewed on the other podcast. Is that the turn? So is it the turnaround to go with the poverty part? I think the turnaround is because we just kept plugging away and plugging away and plugging away, and then all of a sudden it's just happening. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
So it's not like there was it's just we kept being disciplined. I think that's what we were missing earlier in our marriage when we were experiencing those financial trials and tribulations, is that we didn't really have the discipline that was necessary to make it. And then we didn't have regular conversations about finances either in the beginning, except when we had issues. We were, you know what I'm
And you
saying?
know what too? Like, so like I look. I ain't gonna say in the begin. In the beginning, I can see where we were lacking discipline, but then it's the middle where you start to apply the disciplines, but then you don't see the fruit yet. You don't see the results of, hey, I have been saving, I have been stacking. Why an emergency come after this stack, or why did this urgency or whatever it was, why did it come now? And so that will cause again one of those bottom drops, because it's like we working the discipline, we showing up, and then it's just like collapse. And I think in those collapses, the recovery is where it's key, because if you don't quickly recover, knowing that winter is coming, then it's like you'll just kind of sit in and soak in that summertime, because all of what you had built is gone. Thinking about from the concept of the ants,
Right.
it's like, oh, they kicked my house, and the ants don't stop and think; they just automatically start rebuilding. But I can see in times past my own behavior is that I would sit and soak in that summertime versus season that summertime moment. The days are longer, so don't waste this extra daylight time because winter is coming.
Right. That's good.
So yeah, that was what I wanted to share.
All right. That's good.
Good stuff.
I kind of go into timing since you said
Uh-huh.
timing.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I didn't realize it. I'm gonna be honest. I was just looking at your paper, and and I thought that let's just go with what's at the top of the paper. Let's start at the top, and so timing is what's at the top. So
Hmm.
yeah.
So we're dealing with communication, and for us, it's this thing we call the three T's of communication, which is timing, tone, and text.
Mhm.
And I think, don't quote me, but I think communication is like up there in like 50 to 60% divorces end because of communication, whether they're not communicating right or they fail to manage conflict, which is also a communication problem, or they fail to resolve, which is the same thing. Like there are unresolved issues in the marriage that they did not converse about and have a conversation about and come to a conclusion or work it out. So what we're gonna attempt in these next three videos is to just give you um, scripture and as well as give you experience and give you
Perspective
yeah
and just
a
help you.
different perspective.
Mhm.
Hopefully, that it can be applied to your marriage. That if you're in the part of your marriage where there needs to be resolution, that
Mhm.
these things you can apply. If you're in a good spot,
Mhm.
because everybody's going to be either in it or coming out of, about to go into it,
Yeah.
that you'll take these principles and apply it so you can quickly resolve when issues happen in your marriage. Amen.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so good.
Hey, I
Um,
use what I use.
and even in thinking about timing, um, the holy the scriptures say that as long as the earth remain, there will be seed time, harvest. And I want to say in the King James version, seed time was like a compound word. So you got seed time, harvest. So there are going to be some planting. It's going to be always be a beginning stage. There's always going to be a patient or long suffering stage. Time, it takes time to be able to articulate or communicate what it is that you're desiring or not no longer desiring, and then that harvest will manifest. So yeah, it's just, I think, going in line with our topic, that timing is so important, and that the Lord has given us time in particular on earth, so that we can be able to measure things. We can um, be able to work things out
Right.
in time. So a lot of times it's so funny. A lot of times we get frustrated with time. But one thing about time is that she is going to do what she does. Like she's very progressive time, and I personify her as a woman, but she's going to keep moving. She's going to be moving forward. Is it Father Time?
Mm-hmm.
It is Father Time. Well, he's going to keep producing. He's going to keep protecting.
That was I'll tell you off camera.
Okay.
What was funny? Go ahead.
Okay.
But it is Father Time. But it's not what I was laughing at.
It's because of all this noise all of a sudden.
Uh-uh.
Oh, wait, okay. I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I know what you're talking.
No,
Okay,
you don't.
okay, I don't know. I don't know.
Go
At
ahead.
any
But
rate,
in your world, time can be a she. Let's go.
yeah. And so if we just one thing, I guess, when it comes to time, she carries in her hand change.
Mm-hmm.
She carries in her hands harvest. And so now whether that's going to be for your good or for your detriment or for
Mm-hmm.
your oh no, I messed up, right? Whatever that is, it's dependent on what you invested in on the front end.
So harvest is whatever you're sowing, and time is maturing
Whatever that
whatever the thing you're sowing to your betterment and to your detriment.
that is so good.
But
Yes.
time takes time. Time takes the time to slow cook that thing or whatever it is to bring it to maturity.
Yes.
You know what I'm
And she is so unbiased.
saying? Mm-hmm.
Now to our benefit, now that we have given our lives to the Lord, and prayerfully, if you all haven't, that you take time to do that,
Right.
because it'll be to your benefit that you'll get a jump start on it, jump in early. But at any rate, when you think about, I lost my train of thought. I hate when I do that. All that doggone talking. Thank you for laughing at me. Uh, but when you think about the gift of time, oh yeah, I was saying it is unbiased. Time is unbiased. However, um, I can't remember. Hopefully, to come back to me. It just
So in the timing, tone, and text,
wait, Patrick, go back. Say what you said,
I don't remember.
because you said to your detriment.
To your betterment, to your detriment. Like time is going to. You mentioned something about harvest. Like when time does something, you're gonna harvest, and then that's when I came in and said, time slow cooks whatever you're sowing,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
it feeds whatever you're sowing, whatever you're
Yeah,
sowing.
it was something. Oh, I think y'all would just work with me. But if I'm not mistaken, I was getting ready to go with it when it come with change, and
Mhm.
so change is encapsulated within time.
Mhm.
So we guarantee that something is going to change. But now, if you be, oh, I know what I was getting ready to say. So when it comes to time, since it has been around a long time, it will be to our benefit to learn to manage ourselves within it, because again, it's progressive, and with time it's going to bring about change. So since we know these things, like, we can step back and take a look at time and say, oh, okay, so this is how time works. Okay, how can I inject into time that time will begin to work for me and be my friend versus my foe? That when I do make it to tomorrow, if that is promised to me, then I won't be disappointed by it, but it'll be a lively expectation instead. It'll be exactly what I dreamed of, or it'll be exactly what I knew that God had given me to do, and He had showed me the promise. And because we're now living in this promise, we can look back and say, when we said yes to you way back then, you were working the whole time to what we experienced during our interview. Then he can say, "Look up, you already where you had been investing in the whole time." But it didn't look like that there was an investment at the time. But the moment that we began
A
to
harvest or an investment?
both, but I was speaking in light of that result, in light of the harvest. And so in I know that you kind of had a look when I said result, but now when I say harvest, I automatically think result.
Right. I mean, yeah,
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking.
Oh, okay. You just, well, maybe because your glasses, it looked like you were not clear. Like I maybe was not clear on what I said. Interesting enough. It looked like that maybe what I said didn't come out clearly.
Well, no, you had mentioned anyway. I never mind.
Yes, sir. Good stuff.
All right. So here's the thing about the three T's of communication. To have the best opportunity for connecting communication wise, all three T's must be in place. Because you can have the right time, but if you have the wrong tone and the wrong text, you can still mess up everything. You can have the right tone, but it may be the wrong timing and it may be the wrong text. Or you can have the right text, man. You're saying the right things, but you just said it at the wrong time with the wrong tone. So to better communicate, all three have to work. My wife and I just we talk about the five love languages. Even though one is a greater love language, don't neglect. A lot of times people say, "Well, this is your love language," and then they neglect the other four. Well, not all five need to be expressed. Hopefully within the marriage, and not just focusing on one thing. So if you're like, "Well, I'm bad at my tone," and you just focus on tone, and you don't pay attention to the timing, you can still mess the communication up. So the thing is about practicing all three at the same time when you're communicating with your spouse. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. That would go in line. Or kind of come to my mind. It's like a tricycle. You want all three of them working to the
Right.
best of your ability.
Yeah.
Um, you want to go ahead and want me to go ahead and still get the text?
You can. Or you wrote something.
Yeah, okay. So what I did right while you were sharing was, you can have the right time, and let me see, it can be the right time, and the timing can be perfect, but then you could not recognize the time and miss the moment.
It could be the right time.
Mm-hmm.
The timing is perfect, but you
Mm-hmm.
didn't do it at the right time.
You just checked out. So anyway, that was one of the things that I wanted to just highlight. That
Mm-hmm.
it's like this is perfect. This is a perfect time for us to talk. And I think a lot of times married couples may face that. This is a perfect time. The children sleep, or the children at school, or you finish with work, or whatever the case may be. Maybe just finish dinner, or maybe you just it's a light or joyful time,
Mm-hmm.
and so you may want to address a particular topic or issue, and then it's like it can be said you just ruined the moment,
Mm-hmm.
right? But then it's like, but we hear we've been tabling this for quite some times.
Mm-hmm.
So the timing is perfect because we are alone and we both are in a good space.
Correct.
This Let's just seize this opportunity so that we can begin to work well together.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it just came to my mind. You can have the right time. It can be the right time, and the timing can be perfect. But it's like this moment.
For me, that sounds like it's the same thing,
It
though.
could be.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like when I'm thinking about time, I'm thinking about this is the right time, and
Yeah.
to me, this is the right time, and the timing is perfect. I think that can. I see what you're saying.
Hmm.
But yeah, that would be anyway.
Tomatoes, tomato,
Right.
potatoes,
Yeah.
potato. But how I want to be a word ventriloquist. I mean, a word. Yeah. I like words. I do. I like
They said they can
words.
hear that. Go ahead. Um.
Oh wow! I just I missed it. It orbited. Yeah,
Anyway, I'm just messing with you.
yeah.
All right.
For everything there is a
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Are you reading?
Hmm.
All right. Go
You
ahead.
need your glasses.
I know.
For everything there is a season, a time for every activity under the heaven.
Where you at?
Ecclesiastes. A time to tear and a time to mend.
Why you read Proverbs?
Because we was talking about time, and I actually want to say the word time. I thought
Okay.
it
Go
was
ahead.
perfect time.
All right. Okay. I'm listening now. Start
See, it's
over.
those kind of
Start over for me.
things. Nope. No, here I go. Yes, sir, I will. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1 and verse 7. For everything there is a season, a time for every activity under heaven, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be quiet and a time to speak. Yes.
So I think along with that, and so under that the questions. So timing. The questions for timing is when to say it and where to say it. So let's go back to when you said perfect timing. It's good timing, or this is the time, and it's perfect timing. In other words, this
It's,
is go
it's
ahead.
7 o'clock, and the children just so happen to be taking a nap.
Mm-hmm.
Right time, because it's evening.
Mm-hmm.
It's like not too
Mm-hmm.
far in the night and not too early. Okay, and then it's quiet, no distractions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so now it's like let's go ahead.
But now to go with the question though,
Mm-hmm.
the two questions, it's not only when, but it's where. Like
Mm-hmm.
where are we
Mm-hmm.
when it's time to say it? You know what I'm saying? So it may be we're not in the living room, or depending on how small your house is, we're not in the living room where it may interrupt their sleep. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So to
good.
go what you're saying is, and the timing is perfect. It's not only this is when we need to say it, but we are in the right place to say it. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So
Yes.
it's where to say it.
Yes.
So sometimes it may be here we go. Good point what you're saying. So everything is going good. we're in a good place
Mhm.
within the relationship.
Mhm.
We're at the dinner table, or we're out to dinner. We're on a date. Maybe not in the beginning, because sometimes people can say, "I don't want to talk about that. I want to ruin the moment." You know what I'm saying? And that may be a
And that's
case, but
legitimate. Mhm.
but we've been dancing around this. We've been tabling it for a while. So in the beginning of the dinner or beginning of the date may not be the best time. It's perfect timing, or it's the perfect time. Let me see.
Yeah.
The,
It's the
it's
perfect
it's the
time.
right time,
Mhm.
but it may not be perfect timing. In other
Correct.
words, the perfect timing is after we had a good time, after we've talked and laughed and ate, and now the date is winding down a little bit. And now, hey, let's talk about so and so, so and so.
That's interesting. If you don't mind, yes, I
Okay.
do. I do want to I do want to create a scenario,
Okay.
just to kind of hopefully paint a clearer picture.
Mm-hmm.
So, you and I are out, and we haven't talked in a minute. Like maybe it was some misunderstanding or discrepancy, and I go silent. I ghost you. Like
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to talk anymore.
Right.
And so you decide, you say, well, hey, we're going to go and we're going to grab some groceries. Or we're going to go and grab, go pick up some needed things around the home. And I go with you,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so as we are en route, and we know that, and you are aware that I have been ghosting you, you say, well, you want to grab a milkshake. You want to grab, or you maybe you may offer a gift of kindness to extend to break the ice.
An olive branch.
You extend an olive branch, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so I receive it because it's a shock, because I know I've been ghosting you, but I also can see that you are extending an olive branch. And so as we are going, and then we begin to talk, and maybe a laugh is given or rendered, then it's, I'm glad to see you back. So that would be, it was good time, because we needed something in the house. We needed to get out the house. We needed a new space and place to just breathe. And so instead of when we first get in the car, you say, all you had to do was come with me to, it's like, no, no,
But
no,
then,
no,
but
no.
then that goes with bad timing and bad
Tone.
tone.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
But this is, again,
And
this
that's
is
probably
how,
bad text too.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
But again, this is how many marriages are functioning in the area of communication, where it's like no one wants to take down, no one wants to humble themselves to extend the olive branch,
Mm-hmm.
because they want to, they you know what, this is so good. Sometimes in marriage we have to forfeit our right to be right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you very well probably had a reason to go quiet and to ghost your spouse, because maybe they said something out the way, they maybe they did something, or they said that they were and they didn't, like it could be so many number of things that is always coming to cut off the communication.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, just know that sometimes you may have to be the one that extend the olive branch, and it's okay to be able to be the one that try to extend, to restore what you know or you feel is broken. I also like something else that you do, and it's genius to me. Instead of saying, well, what's up with your attitude, which that used to be in the beginning of our relation,
Mm-hmm.
in the marriage,
Mm-hmm.
but now,
Because I want to know what's up with your attitude.
yeah,
That's-
but now it's, hey, your energy off, you
Mm-hmm.
good?
Mm-hmm.
So it's more so out of a concern.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you're not asking this in front of everybody. Like, hey, look, your energy off. Get it together. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
not like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a pull to the side of genuine care and
Mm-hmm.
concern that you good. And then sometimes it can be, you good? Like, what's up with
Mm-hmm.
you? So I mean, and I think that both ways come with living in close proximity with
Mm-hmm.
another person. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
we have to be okay with, it may be uh messy when we initially started talking, but once we know the heart of our spouse,
Mm-hmm.
and I know you're not coming to attack me, but you're coming to attract me.
Mm-hmm. That's
Just
good.
want to rhyme.
Mm-hmm.
But you're coming to bring me closer
That's
to
actually good
you.
though.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And so that helps. That helps. Like it helps with the timing, because it's just like even with dancing. Like somebody has to lead and somebody has to lean into that dance. Like both people can't be leading. Somebody again has to take down, and that's not a put down. Taking down is not a put down. It is for managing and maintaining this space so that it's always a perfect time to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's always to, even if you're not saying words, with timing. Like let me go back. Even in the midst of timing, sometimes we can communicate with more than just words. It's our eyes. It's the gestures.
Facial expressions.
Uh huh.
Right.
All of that fits in.
So that goes. It goes as well. Let's go back to having the conversation. I know sometimes it all depends on who's the in the office with us,
Uh huh.
and we've had a rough day or a rough morning. I'll say something like, "Well, what I say? I'll just say something crazy." So it all depends on what couple was in the room with us, and I'll say,
Yeah.
"Well, yeah, it's okay now because yesterday she had a bad attitude yesterday, and for some reason, depending on who it is, it'll break.
It'll break the
And
ice.
then when they
Yeah.
leave, we converse about it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's that. Even I think sometimes that's a gamble because you can bring it up in front. Because you said you don't bring it up in front of people, but realistically, sometimes I do. I do it in a. I try to do it in a funny way
Mm-hmm.
that will um, bring conversation later
Attract. Yeah.
on
Yeah.
for us to have a conversation about it. Because at that point, I'm like, I'm tired of just, you know, barely speaking to each other, in
Yeah.
this house.
And you said something too that's very important. You know your couple friends, and
Right.
your couple friends know you.
Right.
Like they already feel the energy anyway because
Yeah.
we've been sharing life together.
Yeah.
So they know that, hey,
Because
y'all
my couple,
off.
my couples, my clients would come in
That's funny.
and immediately they look at me like, "What you do?" And I just do this.
Yeah.
And now depending on who it is, I might share what I did. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Cause
because hopefully I am hopefully if they're the friends I know they are, they'll check me. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
tell me
Yeah.
about myself.
Yeah, and sometimes too, I'm thinking about one client. He is hilarious. He say, "Dog, Mika, what you do? You in the dog house? Like you too nice. You nice to everybody." And it's so funny because I would just be like, "You would you like some water? Would you like what you need? Like, go back over there on your side and read."
He said, "Man, how you do that?"
That's
I said, "Man, I
hilarious.
don't know, bro."
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I tell y'all, when I do get in the dog house, oh my goodness.
So let's do time because you don't get in the doghouse that much.
Okay.
But you make up for it. So, but look. So anyway, also the timing is not just because we've been talking about when to have the conversation,
Hmm.
but also when not to have the conversation. Because remember now, it said there's a time to speak and there's a time to be quiet, and and one of the managing conflicts, and we'll deal with that too, because we're going to deal with managing conflicts. We're going to deal with each one of them. But one of the managing conflicts is avoidance. In other words, I need to avoid having the conversation at this time because this is not the right time. I'm not in a good space. I don't like your tone. So I know this is going to blow up and to be something else. But that means but but because this is the right time to be quiet, that doesn't mean that this is the right time to, as my wife was saying earlier, to ghost or to not want reconciliation. Remember that in marriage, and I'm saying reconciliation, we're trying to always find a moment where we can reconcile as husband and wife, so we can reconcile as husband and wife. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
good.
So,
When you just mentioned ghosting too, in particular going back to the scripture when it says it's a time to be quiet, it's a time to be quiet and it's a time to speak.
mhm,
That be quiet doesn't mean ghosting to the point where like it's silent treatment. Like
mhm,
like we can we can be quiet, but we can also go distant. Like we can just
Mm,
distance ourselves. Like now you're not even moving the same. So now you're not quiet for the purpose of bringing resolution.
that's good.
You are quiet for the purpose of keeping your distance. And at the minute that we begin to fester in that quiet in a destructive manner, disconnect began to happen. And that's the part that keeps us from thriving and growing in our marriages.
But I think there should be a time where we have to. So keeping the distance and being quiet is not for the purpose. It's because I'm saying the word, but
Like for
my
destruction.
so it's for the purpose of hopefully coming back at the right time.
Yeah.
And so we're using the same words. I'm keeping my distance or I'm being quiet, not because I want to be alone or I want to make you feel some kind of way. Although we do that, but it should not be for that purpose.
Yeah.
It should be for the purpose of let me slide back or let me pull away. Let me create some distance so that when it's time for us to come back together, there's a greater opportunity for reconciliation within the marriage.
Yeah. So the word that came to my mind would be we don't want to be divisive with our silence and we don't want to be divisive with our words because we know that our quietness can keep separation and distance, like go on about your business, and I could also say something that could cut you with my, like I'm actually saying words that I know will hurt you and will cut you to your core so that you can go on, leave me alone, like keep your distance. So both of them can be destructive, right? Sometimes you can use too many words and you could go too far. The same token, you can be quiet too long, and and we saying this from a biblical perspective, and we using it in the name of the Lord, like well, He told me to be quiet, like you know that you doing that in the wrong attitude, in the wrong manner. You stretching that, and you doing that to harm somebody. This same word that has healed so many have used it to hurt so many. And so this is where we have to be so close to the Lord, and we have to even be true to ourselves to say, what is the best timing for this, Lord? Would you give me wisdom on this? When is the right time to speak to Patrick or speak to your spouse about a situation? Because it could seem right in my own eyes, but then you may be wrestling with something else that has not been spoken, or it's just we definitely have to be sensitive and prayerful because it really is a time to be quiet and it really is a time to speak. But when I speak, my words need to. In Proverbs 31:26, it say, "The woman of the virtuous wife, she opens her mouth with wisdom, with wisdom. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and with the law of and she instructs in the law of kindness." So it's like, what you coming with? You coming with wickedness? You coming with manipulation? Or are you coming with wisdom? You coming for the purpose of building, or you coming for the purpose of destruction? Um, and so then, yeah. So anyway, and then when I instruct, it should be kind. Like if I have to give you instruction, it shouldn't be, And again, it's her governing her home, right? But you don't want to talk down on somebody. Didn't I say, dude? Like that's not kind, So anyway,
One of the things that I don't know if we discussed this when we were creating our date day. Um, it just happens that even on the date day, because we have a whole day because manicures in the barber, so we have a date day and we have a date night as well. But we have a date day that no matter what's going on, so even on the date day that we're mad at each other, we are intentional about being in the same room together throughout the day. Now, because there's no physical anything with us, it can be done. But
what you mean by physical
like,
anything?
there's no physical abuse,
Oh yeah, no.
because if there's a physical abuse, you probably need to distance yourself. You know what I'm saying? But with
Oh
us,
yeah.
there's no physical abuse. So us being in the same room all day, We may not even talk to each other. We're like, do you want some lunch? Do you want some coffee? Do you want some tea? Like we'll have those little small,
Interactions.
interactions with one
Yeah.
another. We'll watch the same thing. You want to watch it? I don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like we're that way with each other. But because we're in the same room and it happens that at some point the timing to talk about it will come up. And I think that has helped us get over the issues or communicate or resolve the issues that come up in our marriage because we're not you're not in the back or in the back of the house. I'm in the front of the house and this is date day. No, on date day, we're
We're
in the
dating
same
no
room.
matter we're dating no
We're in
matter what.
we're dating
Hmm.
dating silent, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dating quiet,
Yeah.
but because of that intention to do that, it opens up for us to have a conversation, and so the timing happens because we're always around each other during our date day or date night.
That's good. And so even in light of you mentioning about the date day and date night, that's actually making time to enjoy the timing. You know, like to enjoy that moment, because if you, and let me say this, if you have not created a standing date moment or
Correct.
time with your spouse,
Correct.
I want to encourage you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
If you have not, I hope that Patrick and I can challenge you to take a look at your perspective and not be dismissive of your marriage, or in spending time, intentional time with your spouse. I know that you are sharing life together, like you may be raising a family together, you may be even sharing a career together, like you all may be entrepreneurs together, or you may be apart. But whatever the case may be, it's something that's sacred, and there's strength in you having a standing appointment to know that this time is with my spouse and nobody else.
Right.
And during this time, we can laugh, we can cry, we can hold each other, like we can do whatever needs to be done to help keep the marriage bond strong.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that it may seem like, especially with us living in a culture where it's like we always have to be doing something, like the
Mm-hmm.
next big, greatest,
Mm-hmm.
shiny light thing. It's like, no, it could be something as simple as trying to do a picnic under the tree
That was so funny.
at a park. And I'm talking about, it is such a moment. Like, it is quiet and everything, and geese come and invade your space. What I'm saying is, life is going to happen, but we don't want it to ever be said that we didn't show up routinely and regularly, and it's a standing appointment with your spouse. And make sure that you show up looking your cute and handsome self. If we can get ready for people that we don't know, to try to impress people we don't know, it's like, why you not putting your lip gloss on for your husband, and why you not putting that cologne on for your wife? Why you not getting your hair cut and groomed? Like, these are things that you do to just keep yourself attractive and keep your spouse attracted to you. And I even want to take it a little bit further. And even in your quiet time with the Lord, I'm not saying that you cannot show up any kind of way. You can. But it's something about when you push your perspective and you push the how you present yourself, even in this even in your quiet space and place with the Lord. Like, if you know that your prayer time is 5 o'clock, like, have fresh breath, wash your face, and do it like if you were in a relationship with somebody. Like, I know that I'm married to Patrick, but I don't want him to just look wake up and see me looking like, oh my gosh, like, you still want to look presentable even in a very vulnerable, excuse me, even in a vulnerable space.
Amen. I want to read the other proverb and touch on it, and then I think I don't know what the time is. All right, so Proverbs 15:23. This is the New Living Translation. It says, "Everyone enjoys a fitting reply. It is wonderful to say the right thing at the right time."
You can say that for the people in the back.
For the people in the back, everyone enjoys a fitting reply.
Mm-hmm.
It is wonderful to say the right thing at the right time.
It really is
So,
refreshing.
yeah. So there's a conflict that's happening. You have something you want to say, but you know that if I say this right now, this is only going to make things worse. It
It's
may
not a good
it's the
answer.
right thing, but it's not the right time.
That's funny.
So sometimes, to go back what my wife was saying earlier, sometimes you have to forfeit your right to be right.
Mm-hmm.
At this time, I'm going to refrain from the right thing, and I'm going to wait to a more I'm going to wait to a more perfect time to say what I have to say, because you have to say what you need to say. Like, you can't always keep
You can't stuff it.
you
Yeah.
can't always keep away the right words,
Yeah.
So,
That's good.
but you have to be wise. Like, we all know our spouses. We all know, this will, even if you say it, even if you say it, even if you say the right thing, you have the right tone. We were talking earlier, but this is the
It's a
wrong
sensitive
time.
area, and it's like this is not the right place.
Yeah, this and listen, and that go back to something else. It's just not the right time to talk about his mama's mustache. Like, not now. You know what I'm
Hilarious.
saying? Like, he feeling some kind of way. Him and his
Yeah.
mom. Like, not now is not to talk about. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? His mama's mustache and stuff. So, just the wrong time. So, you knowing your spouse. I'm being redundant. Knowing your spouse, you got the right time. I mean, you got the right tone. You got the right text. Make sure it's the right time, because if it's not, that would throw them into something else, or it can take it deeper, or it may even throw you off. And so now they didn't receive it because it was the wrong time. And now you blow up along with them already in a situation that is happening. And we don't know. Like, they may have come home from work and then had a bad day at work as well. And right when he come through the door, or right when she come through the door, you just blurt out this stuff, and you don't mean any harm, but it's just, you can tell the energy of your spouse when they walk through the door. So, hold on. No, I want to talk to dad. Wait, babe. Now it's not the right time, but we'll talk to dad in a minute. Give him a minute. You feel what I'm saying? And you just, now, he done had the sandwich, he done had TV, and so, you know what I'm
He
saying?
debrief. He's just
Yeah.
like a, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He released. That's interesting when you were just sharing about the right time and right timing. I mean, right thing, right timing, and fitting reply. Say if you say the wrong reply, come on, that tone, your face again, and I, anyway, when you were saying that, I just thought about how when it's not the right time or it's not the right thing, how then immediately tone come right on in,
I know you tell me that a
attitude
lot. You
come
say,
right on in.
you'll tell me, no, that's not what you were supposed to say.
Say this, then you get happy, and so yeah, and that comes with growth. That come with development.
Right.
So yeah,
Like, that was not a fitting reply.
it's
And
like
it was and this was the right time for you to say the right thing.
yeah.
But you this was, yeah,
Yeah,
but
you
anyway.
and sometimes when we do, again, we are sharing about timing and we're talking about communication. But if I cannot emphasize this enough, because we are sharing life together, you are going to miss a moment
Correct.
and he is going to miss a moment. Give each other space for grace. Let them grow and develop. Help walk them through and along so that it can be better. Because remember, the agenda is to give God the glory in our marriage. The agenda is to help your spouse to be better than you found them, as well as you become a better person in the process. So, yeah, give each other a little space,
That's
give
right.
each other time.
If you see there should be a QR code. If you or anyone you know would like marriage and or life coaching from Shamika and I, make sure you scan the QR code. If not, if you can't, if you watch this on the phone, you probably can't scan the QR code. There's a link in the description box that says Discovery Call. You can click on the link, scan the QR code. book your discovery call. And that discovery call, we can see if we're a good fit for you and if you're a good fit for us to partake of the coaching business that we have officially launched, but 3 weeks ago,
It's longer than
about
that.
a month ago.
It's
So
longer than that. Yeah.
make sure you do that. Did you have anything else you want to say?
Nope. Just make sure that you make time for love. Now you cannot miss making time to love on your spouse.
Hmm.
Love on your spouse. This always the perfect time for that.
Again, the questions that Timon would ask is when to say it and where to say it. And so, yeah, that's it. So we'll see you in the next video. The next video, we'll be talking about tone. So make sure you put on your bell notification so when we drop it, you can get it. All right, take care.
Take care.